Hello YouTube, this is Psalm 91:10, or Stick. I'm going to talk to you today about the Underdog, seeing I am sort of the underdog here on YouTube compared to Fang X and Jesus Freak and a lot of the others. I'm going to start out in 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 6 through 12. I have to find my ending place. Samuel took one look at Levi and thought, surely this is the Lord's anointed. But the Lord said to Samuel, do not judge by his appearance or height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not see things the way you see them. People judge by outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Then Jesse told his son Abinadab to step forward and walk in front of Samuel. But Samuel said, this is not the Lord's anointed, or chosen. Next Jesse summoned Shemiah, but Samuel said, neither is this the one the Lord has chosen. In the same way, all 7 of Jesse's sons were presented to Samuel. But Samuel said to Jesse, the Lord has not chosen any of these. Then Samuel asked, are these all the sons you have? This is still the they're still the youngest, Jesse replied, but he is out in the field watching the sheep and goats. Send for him at once, Samuel said. We will not sit down and eat until he has arrived. So Jesse sent for him. He was dark and handsome, with beautiful eyes. The Lord said, this is the one, anoint him. Now, this is very common for people to look and see, oh man, that guy's going to be great one day. I mean, he makes good grades in high school, very popular, but that really doesn't mean a thing to the Lord. I mean, he looks at the heart and says, him I'm going to do great and mighty things through. No one expects it out of him, so I'll get the glory out of this. And that's one great thing about the Lord, is he can take the weakest person, or the person that's least known, and use him great, mighty, in a great mighty way. And like David, I mean, he was the weakest. I mean, he was like a skinny fella like me, and used him to beat a giant like Goliath with a stone and a slingshot. And I bet all those guys in that army were like, muscled up, big dudes, sort of, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, able to crack walnuts with their muscles. And the Goliath was like 8 foot tall, I guess, and challenged just challenged one man in the Israelite army, and they was all scared of him. But a little skinny kid named David comes up and says, give me a slingshot, give me armor and a sword. I'll go out there and kill this uncircumcised man who challenges us, for we have a great and powerful God. And he couldn't even put the armor on him, it's so huge on him. So he had to go out and just his regular rags, I guess, and a slingshot, and he picked up 7 stones, I believe, and smooth stones at that, and just took out the giant with one rock, and took his own sword, which had to be heavy anyway, and cut his own head off. That's just something how great God is. I mean, he take the weakest thing, or at least expected things no one expects anything out of, and uses it to his advantage. I mean, Jesus in the New Testament used the 7 of the 12 disciples, and he chose tax collectors, which were hated, farmers, fishermen, people you wouldn't even think of even having a mind to read and write, and chose them. I mean, he had I like what Jesse Duplantis it says, he had a staff that was you would not expect. I mean, he had a guy who would cut your ear off if you just made a wrong move, and he had this weird guy named John, and every time Jesus sat down, he put his head on his chest. Weird, kind of weird in this day and time. Anyway, God chooses the weird and abnormal. He don't choose. Yeah, of course he does choose sometimes the people that are big and great, but he chooses the weak and the people that no one expects anything out of the most. I mean, that's just something how great our God is. I just felt I needed to share that today, and I ask whoever's out there watching, please pray for me in this ministry, and hope to see a lot of friends come out of this. I really don't want to see any enemies, as I've said in my first video, but I pretty much expect that a little bit, and well, that's it. God bless, and goodbye.